and welcome to Awaken United Mysteries and Beyond here on Late Night in the Midlands Radio.com. I am Chris Freedom Flowers, also known as Christopher F. Freedom. I'm here with Justin Cooke, Pam Suggs of UnitedTruthSeekers.com, and Doxie. Tonight we'll be talking about self-sustainability, Earthships, alternative health, and remedies. What's up, Justin? How you doing, bro?
Not bad, Chris. How you been?
I've been battling pneumonia and the flu and other stuff, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Pam?
I'll be better once I get my stitches out.
Super
Oh
fluid.
man, we got a banged up crew here.
Yeah, pretty much. We're like the, I guess, outpatient cast tonight.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. What about you, Doxie? How's everything up there?
I'm good. I'm good to go.
You're good to go?
Yep.
All right. So why don't we talk about something we were talking about off air before we came live, and that is some health issues. Well, alternative health and remedies.
Well, I think what's very important right now is, like Trish has mentioned, there's a super flu going around. And it's very weird because, I know some people personally afflicted by it. At least it seems to be the same thing that I've been hearing is going around the country, and obviously in Canada where Chris is too. But it's it's something, it's somewhat like a pneumonia, it's somewhat like a flu, but they're at least here they're not calling it a flu. There's been cases in Texas and other states as well where they've had deaths and everything, and I don't know. I saw a couple videos on YouTube. Just flicks from, like a local news stations or whatever. So, I mean, there's a few places that are admitting it, but I haven't heard much about it, like on the national stage. And it's definitely something, it's not like it's a regular seasonal flu. I don't know. I don't mean to bring fear with it, but I think that there's, I've been basically calling it the chemtrail cough lately, because to me, it just seems like everybody I run into has got this really deep, cough, like their lungs are, have fluid in them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, you're right, Justin, because a lot of people you got some people out there, like when you go to a hospital, some doctors will diagnose you with pneumonia, some will diagnose you with the flu. But the thing is, pneumonia is normally bacterial, the flu is a virus.
Right.
So, a simple test will determine what you have. So the fact is that these doctors are actually misdiagnosing certain patients, and they're treating them with certain antibiotics if you have a virus, which a lot of people know you don't treat a virus with antibiotics. And the fact that these two things are merging together would seem to me, and I'm sure to you as well, and everyone else who's a truth seeker that is listening, that it's some type of
warfare.
That's right, biological warfare, genetically engineered.
Yep. My dad's in the hospital. My dad's in the hospital down in Alabama, and they're wearing hazmat suits to treat him. He's got pneumonia in both lungs and the flu.
Yeah. When did this start, Doxie?
He went to the hospital on the 23rd of December. So, yeah, he's pretty sick.
And has his condition deteriorated day by day?
He started out pretty sick when my mom took him, and he did get sicker. Now he seems pretty stable, and hopefully he'll get better.
Well, we hope he does. Our thoughts are with you and your family.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Justin, you said something earlier too regarding your grandmother and the flu shot. You want to elaborate?
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, and here's the thing too. They have a special flu shot going around this year. I don't know if this is the one that she got exactly, but I do know that she had just beaten pneumonia, which is pretty weird, and all of a sudden they gave her a flu shot. Well, a couple of days later, it turns out that or actually the day after, I went and visited her, and she was totally out of it. So me and my mother, we said something. We said, hey, can we get her some tests done or whatever, see what's going on. Next morning they called us. They said we're bringing her into the hospital, to the emergency room. So we went there, and make a long story short, she died, the next week. And I honestly do think it was the this new flu shot that they made for seniors. It's like a multi shot, and if not, whatever it was, she definitely was, she it's not like she was in the best of health, but it didn't do her any good. She, like I said, she was fine the day before. She had beaten the pneumonia, and then she had gotten the flu shot, which makes you wonder, why would they give her this flu shot while her immune system is already compromised? But that's just, in my opinion, it's just people being stupid. But it makes you wonder in general, what are these, what's in these flu shots that are being pushed on the populace, especially the elderly and whatnot.
Well, they are targeting the elderly, and they are targeting people with suppressed immune systems. We know that.
Right.
Those are the ones that they can kill easier, and that's their goal. Kill as much people as possible, and start with the elderly, the young, and the people that are sick.
Well, isn't that Obama's plan with Obamacare?
Well, yeah, but like the thing about Obama is that he's just a puppet for the people pulling the strings, right, Pam? So like,
True.
even though he's in on it, don't get me wrong, but it's big pharma that's pulling the strings when it comes to this issue. And the more money they rake in, the more profit they make. That's their ultimate goal. And it all fits in with Agenda 21 with eugenics. They want to kill as much people as possible.
Yeah.
The Georgia Guidestones, it's right there written in stone, like Doxie said earlier on before we came on the air. And you have people like Ted Turner, who are huge supporters of eugenics. And these people, that's all they want to do. They just want to make money and kill people.
Oh, they want to keep you alive as long as the insurance will pay.
Yeah, that
they
too.
want you to die when the insurance payments run out.
Right, and keep you sick, keep you going back and forth to the hospitals and the doctors, and it's one big cycle. As Chris mentioned, it's not just an Obama thing. Obama's just the latest guy, putting forth his part of the agenda. You look back, this is all documented. Club of Rome, stuff from the this is early 90s, and they came through with the Kyoto Protocol and all this stuff, and of course it's all connected. Agenda 21, the Obamacare, all this stuff is it's a big thing to keep us from being self-sustainable, to get us under control as much as possible. Everything has got to be registered, and everything's got to be under tabs, and it's just a big it's a big huge agenda. It's they're so far along in it. Like Chris said, you get these guys like Ted Turner and Bill Gates, dumping all their billions into it. It's really unstoppable at this time because big pharma has taken over any governmentary agency. Between big pharma and the next thing that's coming is going to be mandatory health screening, and I think that's one thing that's coming towards people like us that think different, the conspiracy theorists, or and I think that was a big thing that had to do with Sandy Hook, was to make you think that all these lunatics with guns type thing. It's just the basic thing is they want to get everybody. If your neighbor says, well, this guy next door he's a little off, I think he's anti-government, pretty soon they're going to have a diagnosis for it, and I'm sure they'll be able to throw you in the loony bin just on somebody else's word.
I have it already. Look it up on the internet. It's called anti-government phobia. It's now classified as a mental illness, and they have a place to send you in Alaska with over 1 million beds. They want to put all us Cookes over there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just being implemented slowly. It's something we're gonna see more. And I don't know, what were you gonna say, Chris? Go ahead.
Well, for the past few years, Justin, like ever since you and I have been doing radio together, we've been doing it for quite a while, many years. And remember way back when we started talking a lot about the FEMA coffins, and we kind of estimated or guesstimated, as you will, what would they be using these coffins for? And we came up with so many different situations and scenarios over the years. But, I look now at what's going on in the world, especially with this so-called, whatever they want to call it. I've heard the term mega flu, super flu, And a lot of people are dying from this. Okay, I read somewhere where it's like 30% of the people that catch this are dying, and I wonder if maybe that's the reason why they have all these female coffins out there in Georgia and in Texas.
It's possible. It's also possible that there's, that those were set for, a mass casualty event. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Nowadays what they're doing, why they're doing, when they're doing. It's just slow kill is the motive. If it speeds up and it starts turning into if more people all of a sudden start dying, yeah, I think I'll be on board with that. But right now, I think that whatever it is, it's they're implanting us with something, and some people aren't are reacting to it differently. There's a reason we've been getting chemtrail sprayed 24 hours a day. Don't get me wrong, they definitely want us all dead, but I don't know if this is the final push of it or if this is just another thing to weed out a certain amount of people. You know what I mean? In which case, I don't know if this turns into a really super bug pandemic. Yeah, then that's what we'd be looking at, definitely.
Now, what are your thoughts, Doxie, on some alternative health remedies that could help with this pneumonia/flu thing going around?
Well, like you were talking earlier about the honey. Honey is a really good natural antibiotic, especially if you can get locally grown honey. And I would say honey is good. Lemon's good. Lemon kills viruses.
Real quick, I just want to interject though to anyone that out there. Like you said, locally grown. Make sure it's raw. You don't want it to be pasteurized, because that takes out all the nutrients, takes out all the good stuff. It's pretty much with almost all the things that the Doxie's about to say. I'll just probably say as disclaimer, especially with honey though. Honey, because here's the thing: you get store-bought honey. It's got other additives in it too, as well as being treated. So you want to get it in its rawest form. Continue on, Doxie.
Well, and I'm also a huge fan of SEAC tea. SEAC is great for detoxing and getting rid of a lot of stuff. I always tell people, when you're sick, drink SEAC tea for a couple weeks and tell me what's still wrong with you. Because most times there's not much wrong with you and there's very little to treat.
Yeah, see, I need to get some SEAC tea. I have to look at, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I definitely have to get some of that. Supposedly, I believe it brings oxygen to the cells and stuff like that as well. Is that the? I know it's big. They do advise it to give it to cancer patients as well.
Sure, and you can use it externally or internally. Oh, you know how Pam's got her hurt leg?
Sure.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Stitches and stuff. You can put raw honey on that because it'll keep bacteria from growing and it'll keep viruses out of there.
Indeed, raw honey is great for the things like that. Any open wound, any burn. My mother burned her hand bad. She works in a cafeteria, and she got a real bad burn in her hand. She came home, put raw honey on it, and it was healed in probably a day, as opposed to being at least 3 or 4 days like it normally would have been.
Right, honey is.
Pain went right away too. There's a reason why there's bees here. There's a reason why these people are trying to take them away, because you kill all the bees, it's control. Not only will it kill off all of us, but what they're doing is they're making the world stable for a certain amount of people, and who knows whether they're going to have something. I was reading something earlier about like robotic bees, and I don't know if that's true or not, but supposedly if they can pollinate, well, it's kind of like Monsanto, isn't it, where they have the only plants and they sell you the only seeds, and they grow for a certain, so it's a control mechanism to have all food under 110, under approved sources. And, they don't want people healing themselves. They don't want people doing this stuff.
Right.
Continue.
And we could talk about Bill Gates and how he is behind the genetically engineering of mosquitoes that could actually carry certain viruses from one person to another without dying. Normally, when a mosquito bites you, and it takes your blood, it then takes that and it fertilizes, right? And then it dies.
Right.
Okay. Now, these new genetically engineered mosquitoes that Bill Gates was pushing, they can just keep on going, and they can hit multiple people before they die, and they can actually transmit one virus, virus from one person to another. Are we still on air here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
Still there?
yeah, I'm still here.
I said Justin.
Oh, no, I think Justin's mic is out, but he'll be back. Okay, yeah, he's going to come back. His mic is out. But yeah, Pam, I saw those photographs of your leg on Facebook, and wow, the doctor really did a shady job putting those staples in.
They're not staples, they're
They're
stitches.
stitches.
Yeah, stitches, sorry. But very shady job.
That's why I asked you if where it looks like there's a hole in my leg, the meat fell out of my leg or out of my pant leg onto the bed at the hospital and onto the floor. And I asked you, would meat grow back or could they sew it tighter?
Well, if it's meat, no, it won't. But Doxie has a different opinion.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
And it's not the opinion we should talk about because we've already gone over all that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, but I mean, let people at home know what's the what do you got? What would you recommend to somebody else who that happened to, Doxie?
No, that really doesn't apply. But I would say put honey in it. Skip all the pharmaceuticals and making those people rich.
Oh, indeed. No, I thought you were talking. I wasn't sure if there was something else to regenerate or so. I don't know. I was just wondering. No, definitely. Like, yeah, honey is great for that.
Will the meat go back on my legs?
Continue.
We're gonna genetically engineer Pam a new leg.
Let's get
Monsanto
Monsanto
thanks.
let's get Monsanto on board so they can I don't know, fill it full of mosquitoes.
No, thank you.
Okay, you guys. Okay, you guys, we're going to a new subject here.
Sounds good.
We need to talk about sustainability, taking care of yourself. Everybody out there is talking about the conspiracy theories, but no one's ever talking about how do you take care of yourself, what should we do, and how can we live a peaceful existence in this big mess of everything going on. And I think that the real answer for people is moving into Earthship house, building an Earthship house, using the recycled materials, getting the tires, because an Earthship house is special. It's really, really special. It catches your water, it puts it into a cistern in your house. You use your water 3 times, possibly 4. You use water.
Hold on one step, Doxie. Why don't you get into explaining a little bit more how to build them? Like, maybe if maybe you have a website you can direct people to where they can see how to build them, and then then maybe get into continue what you're saying, then after that get into that. Because I mean, if you could explain more of what what they would need to build one, that would be awesome.
Tires.
Sorry.
Dirt. They need tires and dirt.
Yeah, you dig your hole, you take the dirt and you put it on a pile. You get your tires. When people go get new tires, they buy new tires, they have to pay a recycling fee. Usually in most states, it's between $3 and $6. Well, then those tires are taken somewhere and basically disposed of in a landfill. There's mountains and mountains and mountains of tires. So the whole idea here is take those tires, fill them with the dirt, so you're basically making blocks, big, huge building blocks. Cool. Then you have windows at a 17-degree angle so the winter sun can come inside the house and shine on the back walls and on your tire walls, which will gather heat as a form of thermal mass.
But don't we put something on the outside of the tires?
Yeah, you can put plaster or concrete. Or some people will use adobe, things like that. So the whole thing is you have the sun, winter sun coming into your house, warming it up because the winter sun is low. In the summer, when the summer sun is high, It's just coming in that little corner. You have a greenhouse in the front of your house by your windows, which produces the food you can eat. Some of the new Earthship plans, like the Phoenix Earthship, people can go online and type in Phoenix Earthship and come up with all kinds of stuff, pictures of it. But they're putting in the newer ships tilapia ponds. So you have your cistern that gathers your water. Your water is automatically soft water. You don't have to do, all you have to do is filter it and put it through your filter before you can drink it. The first water that comes out of your Earthship is like for taking baths or doing your dishes or washing off your veggies or whatever, goes in your drain. It goes into your planters so that you're able to grow your food. The water is then recycled and used again by going into your toilet. It's then flushed outside into bigger planters that have plants that are non-food plants, such as, you know, your little bushes or trees or flower beds or whatever. So you're using your water over and over. If you happen to have a tilapia pond, they can use the water from the tilapia to fertilize your plants, and then it's drained back in there as purified water because the plants purified the water. Now, that's a sustainability. You can sustain life for a long time in one of those. You don't have a electric bill because you use solar panels. You don't have a heat bill because you have thermal mass. Some people put a wood stove in case it's cloudy for days and days, but heat always seeks cold. So if the interior temperature of your house becomes lower than the thermal mass in the walls, your walls will automatically start emitting the heat.
That's awesome.
So people need to start doing these things that are sustainable. I mean, like, you're all big into the peppers, your hot peppers. You can grow them in there year round. Always eat them raw.
Oh, sure. I know a lot of people that are, you know, have started the tilapia ponds and are doing the you know, different types of you know, hydroponics, aquaponics, you know, grow systems using that water. So no, it's definitely you know, something that's definitely growing, and it's something I would like to see grow more and more of. You know,
Well, we
is
could
there
use
any?
you up here to help build the Earthship.
What was that?
We could use you up here to help build the Earthship.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a possibility. Like I was saying earlier, you know, we were outside the talk. You know, I mean, outside of the call. No, it's definitely cool. It's definitely something to you know, get people together on that are sick of living in these you know, brick urban you know, jungles with you know, no room and everything else. You know, I definitely there's nothing, you know, there's no you're not going to hear any negatives from me about, you know, sustainable earth houses and everything like that.
Yeah, they're
I
beautiful
think
too.
Tell them about the
they're
solar
so
panels.
totally. Totally. Quick question. I've seen some other ones too, and I know they're also, you know, on the same sustainability level, and it probably would be even warmer. Was seen some that are built into hills, some of them that are built into I don't know, what are some of the other types too?
Hobbit houses.
Yes, exactly.
Those are cute, aren't they? See, you get to live
awesome.
in an art form. You get to live in an art form and look at beautiful things. I mean,
No,
what
definitely.
better does it get than that?
Definitely. Here's a quick question now. What would you use as far as energy? You know, do you do solar, or you know, if you obviously wanted to keep some semblance of the grid, you know, just to stay online or whatever, and things like that.
Yeah, solar
you know,
power. They have solar panels on, and so you eliminate your electric bill. You eliminate your water bill because your house catches your water and puts it in a cistern. You eliminate your gas bill if you're online gas, like natural gas, because you can have a propane stove, because it's a lot easier to have a propane stove and buy a little bit of propane when you need it versus
or even just have a gas stove and cut down a tree or two, you know, here or there. That's all, you know.
Right, and a lot of these,
Not a gas stove. I meant a wood stove. Sorry.
yeah,
Continue.
and a lot of these houses now they're being built with, they're putting in like a Vermont casting stove or something, wood stove, just so that you can have heat if it's cloudy for maybe a week, you're gonna need it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm sure there's a way too where if you wanted to, you could even divert that, for cooking as well, stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
So it's, I mean, there's tons of options with things like this, and I think that's, because right now I'd say like the biggest thing is they're trying to make us sustainable. That's what every conspiracy boils down to, the fact that they do not want sustainable people that are capable of living without the world, without living, you know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing here and I think, these are all great ideas.
Well, I think people need to be accountable. I used to always tell people you need to be accountable for your food. I think anymore you have to be accountable for your own housing. You have to be able to take care of yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. And pretty soon they're going to round you up, put you on the bus that takes you to the train, that takes you to the FEMA camp, that cuts off your head. Basically that's the gist of it.
I mean, definitely, even if they're, not exterminating people, just the whole matter of, making everybody crowd into, little cities, even, because I mean, I think, I do think that some of that stuff gets a little overblown, but I definitely do see them, we see what they're doing, and here's the thing nowadays, they don't have to go and cut your head off because all they do is release a super bug, but definitely, no, it's, I think the FEMA camps are there in case enough people woke up and actually went against the government, which isn't even happening because it's not like anybody is even mad enough yet. You know what I mean? But whatever. That may be in the future too. They're obviously they're getting everybody pissed off for a reason. But no, I totally hear you. The best ways to change things though is to change, to lead by example and make your own ways to be as sustainable as you can yourself and no, I agree. I think this is definitely a great thing. Continue on with
what are you gonna do when they take the grid down and there's what's the best time to turn off the heat? In Montana, I'll tell you turn off the heat in the winter, most people are gonna be dead real fast.
Oh sure, definitely.
So the whole thing is you live in an Earthship, you're not going to be dead when they turn off your power. You're not going to just die. You're not rolling over for anybody. You're taking care of your situation and you're trying to ensure that at least your family's okay, your friends are okay, or you're okay.
Yeah, because you're living off the land as opposed to living off of the government.
Right. That's right.
And self-sustainability is a means to an end towards non-compliance of the New World Order.
Yeah, and you know how bad they hate it? They hate it so bad that most counties and most states won't even give you a building permit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted you to get into is what are some of the hoops you said you have to jump through?
Oh, you have to jump through a lot of hoops. You have to, in order to build something in almost anywhere in the country, you have to go get a building permit and an electrical permit and a water, plumbing permit. And you have to have these permits no matter what. Some of them have more permits and some of them have less permits. Like my land in Colorado has a permit that you have to have a permit just to access the land, just to drive from the road onto the land and get a driveway. You have to have a permit for that.
Where are some of the better states as far as as far as not having these permits or easy to get permits? Where are the best spots for them?
Montana is pretty good because you don't have to have a building permit for most of the state. They just built a new Earthship down by Miles City, Montana, and they just went down and got their electrical permits and their plumbing permits and everything just whizzed through, and their Earthship was built in about 5 weeks.
So like, but like even in most states, like so say I was to go buy a piece of land, and say I did get a building permit and whatever other permits, would they break my balls about having a house made like that? You know what I mean? Or would is like, say, like you said, in Colorado or whatever, they have all these extra holes and stuff. Would they break your balls about putting up, you know what I mean? Would they, about the structure itself being sustainable and not being on the grid, or what?
The main thing that they'll tell you is you have to have building plans and they have to be engineer stamped. So just getting your building plans and having them engineer stamped costs you so much that most people can't afford it. So if you're really rich and you want a house on this certain piece of land, okay, they'll give you what you want because they'll say, well, it has to be designed by an architect, has to be engineer stamped, has to meet our requirements for the area, da 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 da. But if you're rich, if Bill Gates wanted to put a house on top of a mountain in Colorado and it's an Earthship, they'll let him do it.
Oh, sure.
If they want me to, they'll make me jump through lots and lots of hoops. So, like northwest Montana, southern Montana, most areas in Montana, it'd be pretty easy to put an Earthship. You just have to draw out a little sketch with your pencil in front of them. They don't care. Just draw it on paper and hand it to them, and they say, okay, cool. But you got to get a building. You still have to be up to the codes, the building codes for electrical, even if you're using solar. Like your outlets have to be in a certain place, a certain many feet apart, and you still have all the same requirements.
Right. No, I understand that. I'm wondering, as far as being on the East Coast, how Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, or whatever. Obviously, when it comes to anything like that, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, New York are out of the question. But I'm wondering about some of these, somewhat freedom-loving states, if they're, if it's somewhat easy there too. I'd have to look into it.
Yeah, you'd have to look into it. I don't know.
Justin,
I hear Tennessee is pretty easy, in Kentucky.
Justin, do you know why I left the East Coast?
What's that?
You know why I left the East Coast?
No, yeah, I heard that part. You said too many what? Liberals?
Rules.
Oh, too many rules. No, you're right. It's a nanny state out here. I totally agree. I live in Connecticut. It's the belly of the beast. It's right where I am. There's it's, you need a regulation for everything. I'm surprised I'm allowed to have a garden in my front lawn. I'm surprised at that. There's some places where they'll tell you, that you can't have them. I mean, most of that is because it's a snobbish neighborhood or whatever, But it's insane, It's insane the fact that you can't, turn your ugly lawn into something, nice that actually produces food. They want you to go to Walmart or Stop and Shop or whatever.
Your edible garden. Your edible garden, which is beautiful and has flowers, and fruits, and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Everybody should have that.
The thing is too, there's even decorative plant. There's decorative peppers and decorative, like you said, all the different fruits and stuff are all different nice colors anyway. I'd rather look at that than a green lawn that's getting sucked all this water out of, and people putting pesticide, or whatever the hell they put into these things that goes off into the water table.
Yeah, well, kale, Swiss chard, purple cabbage. Can you really think of anything prettier?
Oh, definitely. There's so many beautiful plants out there. You're definitely right, 100%. No, that's the thing about it though, and it's society's got to get over some of these biases, and I think that somewhat we're a lot of people are heading there, and there's a lot of people heading the opposite direction as well. So,
well, I think a lot.
I don't know, but
I think a lot of people would like to be there, but I think that they put so many stumbling blocks in front of people that too many people will fight the fight.
Indeed. No, you're right. I mean, and here's the thing nowadays too. Everybody's so up against it as far as money and stuff like that goes, to where, especially, once you have kids and you got, you've been suckered into a mortgage, and now you have to worry about this bill and that bill and the other thing, and it's like, obviously, these people, these same people that don't even research stuff and don't know what they're eating because, who's got time to when they get home and it's 6 o'clock and they got to get dinner on the table, and that's the thing. They want you in this rat race, and there's life outside of the rat race. And, it's all about finding the way that suits you best. And, I don't know. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of being, forced into a way of living that, that I didn't ask for.
Right. God forbid you should have a house with no mortgage, grow your own food, and actually have time to enjoy yourself because you don't have utility bills. Boy, they'll get right on you. They don't want that.
Definitely set up community currencies, and that's the thing. Everything like that is totally, against their plan. And I wonder. I think that they're still a while away from totally fulfilling their agenda. So I mean, I think while most of us here are, we probably could live out most of the rest of our lives in stuff like this if we were to start now. That's the thing is, go ahead.
You don't know what day, what minute, what hour, or whatever when this shit's gonna hit the fan. You don't know.
Oh,
and
no,
you know what? If people don't start learning some skills, learn how to take care of themselves, learn how to plant a garden, learn how to store seeds, learn how to do some of these things, learn how to build a lean-to and build a fire. If they don't start learning some of the basic stuff, they're gonna die, and that's just that. They are going to die.
Yep. No, that's it. Here's their options. Take somebody else's stuff at the barrel of a gun, possibly get shot while doing so, or end up at the at the end. It's not good. Like you said, if you can be sustainable, if you can, stock up on food and canned goods and stuff like that, there's no reason not to. I see all these people stocking up on gold and silver and all that, putting the emphasis on that. But I'll tell you what, you can't eat gold. You can't eat, and no, you can't. And there's I don't know. There's so many different, and there's so many different ideologies going on out there, and but I don't know.
Hey, I got something I want to say. People are talking about buying these. Is it the Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, Bitcoins. Yeah, the newest
and
thing.
I even have a friend who's buying them, and I'm not going to name their name. And I think it's totally crazy. This is what I want opinion on. Why are you going to buy a Bitcoin when you're sitting around saying the grid might go down? The Bitcoin goes on what, your cell phone or wherever? It's in cyber world, right?
Yeah, it's a cryptocurrency over the computer. They say it's not centralized. I don't know. I'm not a.
If the grid went down, it's not worth it. So why are my friends buying these? This is what I'm not understanding. Why are they buying them if they know eventually the grid's going to go down? Why aren't they preparing for the grid to go down?
Well, the obviously anyone that's buying them for the most part, I'm thinking is doing it as a short play, as a way to make a few bucks. While it's hot. Personally, I don't know. I just look at it like this. It's it's a scarce money. I'm not a fan of any scarce money. Because it can all be manipulated and everything else. It's the way I look at things is I don't know. To me, especially now, buying into it late in the game, and expecting a long-term result is just stupid. If you're buying in because you want to make a few bucks off it, a few Federal Reserve notes off it, and then pull your Bitcoins out, by all means. But I don't know. I personally don't see the I don't see the long-term allure of it. I don't see the long-term allure of any of these things. In fact, if anyone wants it, there's an NSA report that was put out in 1996 that actually, pretty much predicted this whole cryptocurrency thing, and it looks like it was modeled exactly how Bitcoin is made. Now, there's a lot of people out there that, are on either side of this, but I don't know. To me, like I said, if you're doing it, because you want to make a few bucks or whatever, fine. But if you're if you're or if you have a mine you know a mining team that's doing it and you're but I don't know, I personally wouldn't buy more than you're willing to lose, you know what I mean, because that's all it's in the end eventually like any scarce currency, it can and we've seen it go from what 100 to 1,000 to but then back down to 600 the next day. So I mean, it's not stable also. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
I think that the best thing to invest in is food, because every year we're paying more at the grocery store for the same stuff.
Exactly. Buy yourself a piece of land and grow your own food.
That's right.
And not Monsanto food either. You're gonna get seeds. Get organic and natural seeds.
That's right. The heirloom seeds. I say for sure, my pound of tomato seeds are going to make some food where their ounce of gold isn't going to do much. So what's worth more?
No, definitely. No, and that's the thing about it. But here people have been talked into precious metals, because if you look through the alternative media, that's what all these Alex Jones is and all these other big time guys. They're making millions off of this, and that's all it's about is there's a group of people that have learned that by instilling fear that you can sell a lot of things, and a lot of these people are no different than the P.T. Barnums of their day. I don't know. Like I said, I have nothing against anyone that wants to have a little bit of gold, just in case for later on. But if anyone thinks they're going to get rich off it, they're going to collapse the gold market too. They're going to they're going to do the same thing with gold and silver that they've done to the dollar, because it's all controlled. Everything is liable to manipulation. These people do not leave loopholes. You know what I'm saying? So sooner or later, it's gonna get snatched out from under you. I don't know. That's really my 2 cents on it. What do you guys think?
No, I'm in total 100% agreement with you on that, Justin.
The best currency to own right now is heirloom seeds.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because money, currency, it's just an illusion. It's not going to feed you. Well, it'll feed you temporarily, but when the crap hits the fan, so to speak, money's not going to save you, but food will, especially when we get down to the trading.
I'll tell you another great thing too is people even if you don't drink, if you don't smoke, you want to talk about hot items when the economy does get bad, or if something happens, the grid does go down.
Cigarettes and whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be getting 10 times the amount for or buy loose tobacco or whatever. In whiskey or rum or whatever is big in your area, and that'll probably keep you fed for a day or two.
The natives on the reserves will be rich.
or if somebody got hurt, you can use it to, you can use the alcohol for sterilizing their wound, but you can also get them while you set their wrist or their arm or their leg or whatever.
Stitch their leg.
And also tinctures are made using alcohol, and
right.
Rick Simpson hemp oil is made using alcohol. So I mean, there's a a reason.
Purpose.
What's that?
There is a medicinal purpose.
Well, of what?
The alcohol.
Of the alcohol, besides getting drunk.
Yes. Oh yes, definitely, yes. And in all means, hey, if the shit doesn't defend, might as well curl up with a bottle of whiskey. I don't know. I'm not a big drinker, but I probably would be if things were going down. But I mean, that's the thing is there's you gotta think of little things like this, and I think that's where people go wrong, where it's trying to get too.
Hey,
it's all commodity.
Still, then you're really set for self-sufficiency.
There you go. No, if you got a still, there you go. You could be and that's the thing. If you're the guy with the bees, and you make honey, then that's your thing. It's all about having a commodity that'll still be needed, when other things, when other people are, when if they can't use their television, and you know what I mean, when these other things are of no good.
So specialize in the niche marketing.
Exactly. So I mean, you can do it if you make blankets, if you're going to have a lot more need in the community than somebody that's a typist or something like that. You know what I mean? It's funny because most of these big money jobs right now aren't worth shit in the real, in a.
Right. You have to work with your hands. You have to be able to make something, grow food, spin wool, make yarn, knit sweaters, weave, whatever.
Yep.
And we don't have a liquor store up here, but we have wheat.
Really? You guys don't have liquor stores in Montana?
Well, not where we live. No.
How far?
We don't have a single any kind of store.
Walmart is 5 hours away.
Wow.
Yes. You might be able to get.
We live really close to Canada.
But do you have problems going back and forth over the border, or is that just as far?
Well, it's 40 miles away from us.
We don't have passports because we don't want to write our information down on paper for the government.
Okay, that's understandable. So really, you have to where's the closest gas station?
18 miles.
And so like if like you don't,
that's the nearest grocery store too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there at least a grocery store near you? Is there,
grocery stores, 3 gas stations, 2 clothing stores, right?
Yeah.
Is there farms that you can go and buy fresh milk and things like that at too, or?
We can get whatever we want off the farms.
You can buy a cow, you can buy a sheep.
Yeah, you can buy what you want up here.
Oh, that's cool.
As long as you live a wholesome life.
So you basically, where you guys live, is it a community of self-sustainability type people?
There's a lot of self-sustaining type people here. I came here for the purpose of building a community like that. When I got here, there were 183 people. There's now 560.
Interesting.
Now,
we have biodiesel kids here that are really cool. They drive the Jetta, the Volkswagen Jetta, because it's diesel. But they make biodiesel. They get the grease from McDonald's, which is 18 miles away too.
Oh wow! What do you call it? So are you getting an Earth house going up there? And
right now there's a lot of debates because about the 100-mile zone around the country, the non-constitutional zone where the
Yes.
Okay.
Just for the listeners out there, for every 100 miles that's near the border, or near a body of water, it's considered it's not under the Constitution for most things when they decide it's not, and so you actually you can be searched by immigration in that area, and I don't know, break it down a little bit more for them if you guys understand it, but it's definitely, I've heard of people getting pulled over within these 100-mile zones.
Yeah, so right now they can say, well, none of your constitutional rights apply. You can't have a gun. Da, da, da. Now tell a Montana person who hunts elk and deer that they can't have a gun. Right. I mean, the people around here, they walk around with guns all day long.
Right.
I mean, everybody's got guns except for Pam.
But you don't know that.
But your government does, Pam.
But the whole thing is like,
no, my government doesn't, Chris.
Officially, the thing is,
they don't know if I do or not.
Well, officially, the problem is that I now live in that zone, and it was just determined by a judge that it's going to hold water. So that means I'm deciding if I'm going to get out of here because I don't really think I like living in a no constitution zone right now. I don't think that that's safe for me, especially being a conspiracy theory person. That makes me
That,
more at risk than most normal people, which I hope I'm never considered
now,
normal. But,
do you know anybody that's been affected by that? That like up that way?
you know, I don't, but they did a training here not too long ago where we must have had at least 40 cops here. Right up at our corner, they closed up a part of St. Marie and did a training with the state, the county, the city, some of the local cities that are close to here all came up here. They were one day searching all the houses and stuff, and then they went down the next day, they set up at the hospital. So all the places that we thought we had as really good spots to stash stuff or really good spots to go when we needed to, because our hospital basement is the hospital is wrecked and is falling apart, but it's got a humongous 1 acre bomb shelter underneath it. Well, now that they've done all their stuff down there and they know every inch of the place, well, now we're not really safe here because they're doing all these weird exercises in my neighborhood. I really am not crazy about that. And now we have more border patrol people around than we've ever had before.
Well,
I see border
do you know
patrol.
which type of exercises they are doing up there?
The first one was um, to civil obedience and disarmament. That was the first one that they had. And the second one, I have no idea.
But these were in houses that people don't live in.
Right.
They didn't come to occupied houses.
Well, that's just a scary thought. Civil obedience and disarmament. I
Right.
mean, you know.
So we might be moving soon.
So yeah.
Well, we'd like to have you guys up here in Canada. I can tell you that.
I don't know if you guys would let us over there. But I like your medical health plan over there better than the one they gave us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see, I just really don't like that 100-mile thing. And I mean, my whole idea is I want to be free and I want to be as free as possible. And that's why I like taking care of myself and spinning my own yarn and dyeing my own fiber and, you know, growing my own food because I'm one of the most self-sustaining people I know. But now I got to take it to the next step and get into an Earthship. And we were.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, to be honest, though, just if they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you. If they want to get you with outside that, you know, they can fix the laws and the Constitution. You know, it's only a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying?
And they could come after you with drones, or they could do this, or they could do that. But I'm gonna make it hard. I'm gonna give them a run for their money.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Me personally, though, I think that I'd rather if it comes down to it, I don't know. I'm at the point where I'd almost rather.
What?
I think we lost you, Justin.
I want to hear that part.
Me too.
It's always the good parts, isn't it? It's always the good part. Oh, well. That's when they put the commercials in, too, on TV, which I don't watch because I don't have a TV.
I hope we lose
Justin's back, so finish that thought, Justin.
I was just saying, if I was going to, me personally, I don't know, I've been thinking about other places, you know, where to go to get away from this mess. And I don't know, South America or Costa Rica or Ecuador. I don't know. I've looked into a couple places, and you know, you have to have a decent amount of money. But once you know, if you buy a piece of land, you know, you make a house on it, you don't have people crawling up your ass everywhere. You know, so I mean, I think there's America is pretty much done. I hate to say it, you know, but
are you strong and healthy?
Yeah, I'm definitely strong. You know, I'm pretty healthy. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm just saying though, I'm sick of, you know, I don't want to be made a martyr of either at this point. Like, you know, I'm willing to stand my ground for the most part, but for the most part, you know, you have to look at it and realize that they have a plan, and you know, I'm not in their plan, so might as well make other plans. You know, I don't know.
Exactly. So I'm saying, if you're strong and healthy and you want to know a good place to go, you call me later and I'll tell you of a good place to go.
Or you can go to my website and leave us a message there, and we'll contact you.
Cool. So, well, just just hit me up on Facebook or inbox me, whatever. Or hit me,
True.
That's it's not hard to get a hold of each other. Not no, definitely the thing is there's a lot of countries out there and a lot of places that are looking better than here right now. I don't I'm not sure exactly
Well, we
where.
might as well all just move to China because they're taking over America anyway.
They already own us, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm convinced. I don't know what the percent would be, but I'm sure it's really high. Most people would say, "Well, gee, if it gets that bad, I don't want to live through it anyway," or "Gee, I'd want to be the first to go," because you know what? They're so stupid.
well, here's
Their
my
excuse
thinking of it.
not being accountable for anything ever.
No, definitely, no doubt about it. Everybody takes the easy way out. There's no doubt about it. But I'll tell you what, though, what I see happening is they're just bulking up. The people that run the show are bulking China up, and it's China. China right now is already under slavery. They're already under totalitarian rule, which we're getting. We're the boiling frog in the pot, and it's just getting worse and worse. And because basically in their new world order, there's no such thing as a superpower. So that's what they're doing is they're knocking us down. They're making it like at the expense of others, when in reality, it's all going to be one big slave ship. There's other places that are going to hold out longer than others. Obviously, China and the U.S. aren't one of those places.
Let's go move to the jungle and hide out.
What's that?
Let's just go move to the jungle and hide out.
Well, on that note, guys, sorry to cut you off, but we're at the end of the show. So if you want to take a minute and say your final words and give a shout out to somebody, we'll go with Justin first.
No, yeah, nothing much from me. I just had a good time talking with you guys tonight. I don't know. Hope the listeners enjoyed it too. Hope I didn't babble too much, but it's a little late in the evening here. Besides that, I don't know. Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy your 2014. Hopefully the tyranny will not be too strong, and we can all, get by for another year here. Let's see what happens with that. I don't know. Thanks for listening.
Doxie, anything you want to say?
I just say be accountable for yourself at least, and try to be accountable for your family. Do what you can to survive.
Awesome.
Learn the skills.
If anybody has any questions or wants any information, they can contact us at the website at unitedtruthseekers.com. And have a great year.
Well, I'd just like to give a shout out to everyone listening in Ghosts and the Paranormal. Thanks to the listeners for listening to Awaken United Mysteries and Beyond on Late Night in the Midlands Radio.com. I'm Chris Freedom Flowers, also known as Christopher R. Raymond on Facebook.